What's up? Fucking Micron. What a hold on that one. That was a tough one. Let's go through some charts and then we'll go through some things to watch for. All right, first things first, Micron. Apologies for the friggin' drawdown. It was like down by like 90% or something like that. Anyways, I had a couple more. We're in the money on the 900 calls. 910 will be green. 920s will be green at open. So please take the win. Whatever the number is, doesn't matter. But I was expecting this move from Micron yesterday. It didn't happen. We were just accumulation mode. And then luckily it cupped out. CPI came in as expected. We're rejecting the upper ADR here at 905. Above this, I have interest in calls. Below this, I'm going to short it back down to the lower ADR. I don't think we'll get exactly there, but I do think it'll tap at around 870 and that'll carve out the higher high and higher low. So let's see what happens with Micron. But I'm going to take profit right away at open. Got the 900s, got the CoreWeave 100 calls. These were like $1 when I got them. They're going to be, I don't know what they're going to be worth. But with CoreWeave, if you are interested in playing the sticker, watch how it reacts here because I think it'll come back down. They'll shake out retail, see what it does at 103 and 100 is a call wall. So whatever happens here, watch how it acts between 100 and 103. And if we hold 100 and above it, you're good for calls and your next target is 112.56. Above that, it's going to squeeze all the way to 130. So let's see if we get there. But I do think they'll shake out retail, test the call wall once again, and then bounce from there. So I do like CoreWeave as a whole, looking pretty good, and we'll see where that goes. DJT had some sus flow coming in yesterday. Got some calls for this in November. It's holding pretty well, so I do think it's going to run. I just don't know when. So I got them for November, and we'll see where they end up. They're down by like 7%, nothing crazy, but it is what it is. Micron, I'm going to play more today. I don't care about SPX that much. I hope we get the volume. Volume did look pretty good yesterday. If it does seem to hold on the volume side, then great. But we do have a bond auction at 11:30, I believe, and then there's one at 1 p.m. So these are your key times to watch. And this is what happened yesterday. 11:30 bond auction hit. They started selling it off because it didn't go well. And then at 1 p.m. bond auction hit. Started selling it off because it didn't go well. But 1 p.m. is a 10-year auction. So if it does do well, then they'll try to buy the market. So that's effectively how it's going to work. For Tesla, I do like calls as long as 334 holds. If it does, you're squeezing to 338 most likely. But you know the first 15 minutes are always fake on this. So just keep a watch ahead for it. And then I'll just decide to get into a position maybe a bit later than right at open. So we'll see what happens there. SPY, It does look pretty good for continuation up. My only worry right now is that the call wall is 780. So let's see if it squeezes all the way up there and then, rejects back down, and you'll have a head and shoulder pattern kind of set up there to come back down. CPI worked out exactly as expected. I think we were all calling it in the chat anyways. Yesterday, just a weird, wonky, slow sell. Even some of the puts that I got and playing around with, and I saw this with other people as well, they got puts. But they got them right here, and then we just slowly drifted away from that position. So even if you got the 7730s right around here, they went up like a little bit, and then they ended up expiring effectively worthless. They went from $600 to peaked at like $1,300, and then they eventually sold off to like $200. So they really data crush everyone, and had a 772 puts for SPY that I swung from the day before. They were $100. I think I broke even on that trade because by the time that we started selling off, theta was in full effect, and finally at like 2 p.m. I got some profit out of it and just broke even with that trade and moved on. So let's see what SPY does here. It's rejecting right now the 774.83 level, 64, whatever. If it closes above this, I can see a short squeeze kind of happening. And I think you'll likely go towards the call wall at 780. Whether it's worth taking or not, I don't know, but I'm going to watch for Georgia's apex prints to get there. Qs, we're finally above this trend line, this DTL. We were rejecting it all day yesterday, came back down, grabbed some liquidity from these buyers here, retested a prior high. And I do think that you have one more test at 724. Above it, calls probably work, and you're likely squeezed to 731.51. And hopefully we squeeze above that to get to the annual expected move, which is 740. And if we get above there, you're going to a standard deviation move of like 745, 750 effectively. So let's see what happens there. But I'm going to size it lighter on SPY and SPX, whatever I do, because I think the better plays will be, at least today, will be Tesla, Micron, maybe even Intel will run. I drew this chart out a couple of days ago, if you remember me posting it. We're still making this trend here, and I want to see this inverse cup and handle, or what the fuck's called, inverse head and shoulder kind of play out. So I do think this is going to bonk around a little bit, come back down, and then kind of go from there. Oracle is running partly because they've cut money on their capex, so they laid off a bunch of people. I drew this for someone yesterday on the 4 hour. Looks like it wants to go up. My only worry right now is this double top here. So above 151.77, it'll squeeze to 163. And if it does, great. If it stops at here, you're likely coming back down, making that head and shoulder pattern complete, and coming back to 120 before you decide to bottom out. So keep that on your radar, but I'm really more worried about the 11:30 and 1 p.m. bond auctions, because if they decide to sell the market and the indices, then they'll sell everything as a whole. They are rotating into some of the biotech names. If you are curious, you can go do that. JPM, I keep coming back to the JPM chart. It just keeps looking good and good to me, but it keeps rejecting this upper ADR. So I have zero interest in chasing it unless it closes above 363.16. If it does, then I'll get some 366 calls. But as it stands right now, it's not really going anywhere. Google, I really like this chart on the 4 hour. Looks very clean, came back down. This is what I was saying yesterday on the stream as well. You'll likely bottom out around 345. That's exactly what we got. We did a nice little undercut. Now moving up. On the retest of 345.20, what is it, 345.06, I'll just do this, bonk around, and then finally go. So as soon as that retest happens, I'm going to get some calls, or I might take a starter position on the 360 calls for Friday. And I do think that those will hit. But I'm not looking for like a 200% gain there. I'm looking for like 30, 50% and moving out. Because my worry right now is like it's just going to reject at 340.54 or whatever. Bank of America, same deal. Looking good. Financials catching bids. This is just making all-time highs. Right now, my worry, again, with the financial names is like you're coming to the upper ADR here. And if it rejects, it's coming back down. So I don't want to rush into it when it's so close to the upper ADR. But I do think it's worth taking a look at them if they start squeezing above that. Citigroup looks identical on the 4 hour. Came to the lower ADR, tested it, went back up. Now you're going to test the upper ADR and see if you reject or close above it. But I do like how that is shaping up overall. So financials look really good to me. If you want to do commons, even better. But I think it's good to wait a little bit before you get into that. There's really no rush. I don't think you have to rush into anything. So I got some hedges. They're probably worth zero, but it is what it is. Hold on, I got to meet someone. It is what it is. They're very cheap. They're like $70. So let's see if they come back. But my concern right now with USO is like it's testing this upper ADR and it's setting up a double bottom here. So it might actually run. And if it does run, they're going to sell off some of the technology names and some of the indices ETFs. So let's see what we get. But the top watches for me right now are Tesla and Micron. Micron hoping we get some volume so we can actually play that because it moves a lot better, frankly, than SPX. SPX, we're bunking around right now. We're rejecting from the same level we rejected from literally like 2 days ago, or 2 days ago. Not even 2 days ago, yesterday, damn. So let's see if it closes above 7772, then I can see a squeeze on to 7788. If it doesn't close above this, you're coming back down towards 7748 is really what I'm looking at there. Rigetti, maybe. I don't know enough about these companies, and all I see is a triple top here, 1, 2, 3, and I don't think it's worth chasing it up here. If you wanted to, you can get that, but it's entirely up to you. I think some of the better names are like AEHR. It's going to squeeze to all-time highs. I think it's already there, 123. Yeah, it's all-time highs. If it pulls back to 120 and it holds there, I'm going to get some calls because I think it's worth the risk because they've doubled their revenue. And I do think that this will test 120 once again before it decides to go up. So I like some of these other charts better, frankly, than some of the quantum names. But if you want to play them, you can play them. It's up to you. On Palantir, the 4-hour looks pretty bullish still. I drew this out yesterday. I do think that they'll just grab liquidity at this displacement here at 174. They'll shake out retail and then finally reverse up towards 194 as a target. So I might take a position on 200 calls for the end of September. Looks pretty good to me. On the 15-minute, you're bonking around the displacement. And what do we know about displacements? If it holds here, it does the undercut, you're likely to go up. Rivian, I agree. This will probably keep running. I got the 16.5 calls. They're in the money almost. So let's see what happens there. But I think I sold actually all of them. I don't think I have any left. Yeah, I sold all of them. So if it squeezes, it squeezes. But again, I'm watching for this double top at 1646 on Rivian. The thing about patterns is that once you see them everywhere. And one of the most common patterns is like when it goes up 1, then down 2, and then up 3, and whatever else. So that's what I see here. It's like 1, 2, down, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, down. And so like, let's see if we get a repeat of that pattern. So today, in theory, if this pattern holds, it should be an up day. And then you kind of go back down for the next 2, etc. Or today might be a red day. Then you'll go up tomorrow and Friday. So just watching out for those patterns. I really think it's going to hit. But you're rejecting 774.64. That's what I said. You can't even get over yesterday's high. Let's see what happens there. But I do think that they'll chop around until the bond auction hits at 11:30. That's why I'm interested in Tesla and Micron more so than some of these other tickers. And CoreWeave, I'm just going to watch and see what it does at 103 and 100 if it comes back and tests that. And we'll see. What play did we get on Tesla yesterday? Was it 335, 340Cs? I might actually get them again. We'll see what happens there. But I do think it's setting up. And some of the other names like SpaceX, I do like calls on this. I think it's going to squeeze. I like the 140Cs for Friday or even the 150s. RKLB, we played the earnings there. Did not go so well. Let's see if it holds above 80. If it does, great. Call's good. If not, this is your prime rejection spot. And ASTS, for all I care, can go to 0 because all I see is a topping pattern. 1, 2, 3, double top, triple top. We'll see if it goes anywhere. SpaceX flow for 180 for October probably makes a lot of sense. Let's see how much they're worth. I don't think they're that expensive. Let's just do October 16th. 180 calls are $400. That's not worth it. Never mind. You'll have better luck playing the weeklies at this point in time on SpaceX. And it's been a short candidate. Like everyone wants to short this, but when everyone's in the same trade, there's really no edge there. But on SpaceX, if you are interested in playing it, see if this holds at 134 and above it. 135 is the line in the sand. If I look at the anchored weave app from the IPO price, like whoever bought here is still underwater. And 135 is like your, I'll call it like the neutral zone. Like this is a good spot for sellers to sell and buyers to buy. So as long as this holds, you're likely squeezing back up to 140. Above that, you're going to 150, 160, 180, whatever that might be. So I do like how this is shaping up. I might take some lot of weeklies from the gains that I get from Micron and CoreWeave, but we'll see where that ends up. And I have zero rush in the trades. I'm just going to be patient and watch because yesterday we had a pretty banger trade from George at 77.10 puts. They ran like 600%. Didn't take, I think I sold them at like 250 because it is what it is. And then he ended up getting these 77.60 Ps at like 10.30, I think it was. And that was a crazy trade. Obviously, there was drawdown because the market was in chop mode, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to be patient and watch for the apex prints more so than anything else. And when it comes to the dealer exposure, market manipulation detected. Don't really see a whole lot, just a lot of volume upside, but not really seeing the volume right now. So I think they're going to wait for the bond auction before deciding the move. And I don't know what the move is. I don't think anyone does. So we'll see where this goes. But I'm going to watch Micron like a hawk because I like this chart and I like how Tesla is shaping up overall. Tesla, as long as 335 holds, calls are good. And there's 1,000% on Micron. There's 400% on fucking CoreWeave. So if you wanted to take the win, please do. When I see a 10x, I'm taking the win and getting the fuck out. CoreWeave, gonna sell that as well. Goodbye. And I'm just gonna watch SPX and whatever else. And Micron, let me just post an update saying, hey, I'm sold the 900s. And I'm gonna hold the 910s and whatever else. Sold. Ooh, 900s. 10x. Market manipulation detected. And the 920s are $700. Oh, sorry for the drawdown there. Holy fuck. Where did I get these at? Moo 920Cs out at 700 per con at here. 100%. Sorry for the drawdown. Tesla, let them shake and bake and then we'll get some fucking calls. There's the fade, and that's how I know they're setting up for a pump later. Okay, let's see where that goes. Oh, Micron, I love you. Again, even though yesterday kind of fucking sucked. Micron, you beautiful bastard. Let's go. Fucking DJT. Hopefully it comes back. I think it will. I just got a lot of time on them, so I'm not overly concerned. Now the question is, do I want to play Micron again here, or should I just wait for a better entry? I don't know. The Micron 920, 940s aren't bad at 300 if you wanted to do those, or the 950s, but I don't want to watch for a better entry on the 940s. If it comes back and tests a low, I'm happy with those. Hopefully you held those Micron calls because it did become profitable after a 77% drawdown. That's unreal. If you want to give us some time, you can get the Friday 1000 calls. They're pretty cheap. They're only $300. Boom. That's what I was waiting for. I just want to see what the first 15-minute candle does. Yeah, sell Tesla. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Whoever's chewing your keyboard, please stop. Yeah. I think it's going to flip, and I'm going to watch the first 15. Rather preserve my gains, to be honest, because rather be green than red. I just want to see what the first 15-minute candle does on Micron. Then I'll get some calls or maybe puts. I don't know. Max conviction. This will change in like 5 minutes to relax. Hopefully you took the win on Micron. That was a tough hold. Please just take the win, move on, and we'll figure out what to do afterwards. I kind of like Tesla calls here. Why is that? Why do I like these 335 calls? Why do I like the 335 calls? Why? I also have to ask myself why I like something before I take it. Because if I can't have 2-3 reasons for why to take that trade, then I don't take it. But why do I like the 335s here? Why do I like them at 80, 78? Why do I like them? I don't know. I think it's because this contract's actually setting up a base here. That is setting up a base there. That's about to flip up. Micron's about to flip up. My only concern is the fucking bond auction. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a limit buy on 4 of these Tesla calls, 335s at 78. If it fails, it fucking failed. If it fills, it fills, it filled. And then what I'm going to do is watch. If the 945 candle does not end up going up, I'm going to cut it because I'd rather just avoid any crazy drawdown at this point in time. With the Moo gains, also got 1000 C for Friday at 230 per con at here. Tesla 0 to T 35C at 78 will cut if 944 AM candle is not ideal. And I just want to see what the first 50-minute candle looks like on Micron, then I'll decide if I want to do puts or calls. I think it's going to be calls based on how this candle is shaping up. And I think SPX is going to flip up, but again, I don't know. That concerns me right now is the bond auction. They've exited 75.50 puts. I think that's why they did the red bar at open. And I think they're going to reverse it up here soon. So if you wanted to play SPX, your best bang for your buck is going to be the 77.80s. And you want to get them as cheap as possible. So if you can get them at 410, sorry. If you can get them sub 5, that's ideal. Here come the buys on the SPX contracts. Yes, this fucking SPX puts left. Good God. They were just waiting for CPI. I think that was a CPI hedge more than anything else. So I like to see it. I want to gamble some Micron calls shortly. I just want to see if the displacement here holds. So usually what I do is like I'll just, the indicator does it, but it marks at the displacement zones automatically on the 4 hour and 15 minutes. And as long as 900 holds, calls are mega valid on Micron. If it doesn't hold, I'm going to short the hell out of it because you're coming back down all the way to 850 most likely. And I'm going to go to Micron here and see if I like this 915s, maybe the 930s. There's your 15% discount on Tesla if you wanted one. We got plenty of day left. Let's just watch the first 15 and see what I want to do here. I do like how Micron is holding here. I do like that. If you wanted a starter, you could do that and see where it ends up. Maybe I'll get these at 225 or 230 if I can get it. Move 0 to E 930C Lotto at 225 per con here. Watch till 945. Watching position. People really gotta stop DMing me. NVIDIA, let's see. See that rejection on CoreWeave? That's what I was expecting. NVIDIA, let's see. It does look like a nice cup and handle. Cup, channel, probably come back to 220, 28, and then flip from there. Oh, Micron calls are green by 40%. Fucking A. If you want to take the win, please do. 40% calls out here. All right, Tesla's slowly coming back. Hopefully you got that 15% discount. Now you're up 15%. Cool. Good job, Chevy. Why are people DMing? I don't even know at this point in time. And I think this is a call entry on SPX. I just don't like how they're diverging from each other, though. That's my worry right now. And QQQ rejecting downside at 723. So you're looking pretty good for calls on Qs as well. I'm just going to hold these Tesla calls and see what happens to them. I think they'll come back. I don't know if I want to add more. I kind of do, but I don't. It's either going to work or not. I did not see that equal low. That's my bad. If you want to oversize on something, it'd be Micron, not Tesla. The Micron chart looks way better right now than Tesla. NVIDIA, see if 220 holds. If it does, there's your call entry. Look at that. It's almost like displacements work, huh? It's almost like they work. That's crazy. Who would have thought? Something just happened. Okay, buddy. They're loading the calls now. Good job. I kind of want to add more Tesla, but I kind of don't. As I said, it's either going to work or not. All right, there's 80% on Micron calls. Please take the win. Fuck, I don't even know what to do at this point in time. There's 92%. 92%. Oh, there's 100. Yay! No. Come on, let me take the screenshot. Yeah! Maybe this is good enough for now. I don't know. Just 123, 129, 132. Oh, beautiful. Just would love to see that. Love to see these MF and displacements. I'm going to hold Tesla. I think it rips up, but I don't know. I can't tell. And hopefully you got the SPX call entry there. Not a lot of volume, so Micron's moving better. There's 140%. I think we're good to go. See y'all later.